Good morning everyone. I thought I'd show you how to make these frames today. They're very simple to make once you know how, and once you know how you can adapt them. You can make them deeper, you can make the frame wider, you can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you can put them inside a card, you can put them on the front of a card, you can use them as gift boxes, you can put an acetate cover on and make it a shaker, you can even join them together and make frames, you know, standing up frames. You could put two together like that and make a gift box. There are just so many things you can do with frames, so I've always thought it was worthwhile knowing how to do them, and they are really very simple. So I've started with a 21 centimeter square card base, because our card here in the UK is 21 by 29.7, so I've just squared it off to 21. It's lighter than what I would normally use. I just have it in my stash. Okay, so these are much easier if you have a cutting board with a scoring tool or some kind of scoreboard, okay? But you can do it without, it's not a problem. All you're going to do is mark it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and score in the 4 lines around each of the sides, okay? Then on 2 sides, so we've got all 4 lines scored, yeah? On 2 sides only, we are going to come in by a further 1 centimeter on the top line, and you're going to take that score line down 2 of the score line to the second score line, okay? Then you're going to angle it back to the original last score line in the corner and come straight down, okay? So I'm hoping you can see that. So we've scored in, okay, we'll go from this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The 5th score line comes down 2 score lines. Then you horizontally cut across there, back to the 4th score line, and then down to the corner of the frame. And you do that on the other side, and then you do repeat it on the opposing side. So you've got 2 straight sides and 2 sides with the shaping, okay? Then we're going to cut these corners away completely down all of these lines that I've marked here. I'll cut them away and let you see what I've done, and it'll make a bit more sense. Okay, so I've completely cut away the corner plus that extra 2 1/4, 2 1/2 squares. All right, so I'm going to do the same here. So as I say, once you've got the basics of this down, it's very easy to adapt it to make a deeper frame or a wider frame, etc. Just trim that in a little bit. And the final corner. We're almost there. It doesn't take long to put it together. Right, just so it'll work easier, I'm going to trim off the tiniest wedge from these shaped sides on the just on the outer gluing panel. Just a tiny little wedge. You don't need any more. Okay, right. So that's what we have now. So we have the 2 shaped sides and the 2 square sides. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fold these square ones down to the 2nd score line, and we're going to put some glue on the very end panel here. You're going to cover that with glue, And then while it's still folded on the second score line, just fold it over literally into the main panel. And then with your bone folder, just spread out that glue underneath. Okay, so there is one side of your frame. Repeat on this side. So there's two sides of your frame. Now on this one, just fold your first glue and panel in. You're not going to go the second one, you're going to go on the first one with this one and put some glue on there. Same at this side. And then just a little, you just need a little dot of glue on the inside corner of the frame the parts of the frame we've just folded. Just a little dot, you don't need a lot, okay? So then, with that still folded over, we're going to tuck it down in between the two sides of the frame that's already folded. We're burnishing down that glue, and then literally all we're going to do is move the sides slightly out of the way and bring up that frame there, and then hold it down on your little dot of glue until your glue dries, which takes longer than you think. But make sure your corners are all nice and square. Hopefully that'll stay long enough for me to do the other end. And again, you're just going to fold that to the end, to pull these sides apart ever so slightly until you're folded on the second score line. And then burnish down your glue, just spread it out. Then gently move your side apart and tuck the straight sides into the angles. I told you it takes longer than you think for that glue to dry. And there you go. There's your frame. So as I say, it's some people put glue dots under there, but I end up with a mess if I do that. And as I said to you, it takes longer than you think for that glue to dry under that little corner. We're nearly there anyway, but that just gives you the general idea. It's so easy to make once you know how. There we go. So another little frame. That's my collection, even with the glue not dry. So that's it. It's as easy as that. So you can make them whatever card you want. You can cover them. There's just so many opportunities now. You know how to make them. Have fun.